What's up everyone, and welcome on back for another video here on my channel. Thank you as always for my returning subscribers for coming back and joining me on another cash stuffing. And if this happens to be your first time stopping by on my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Monet. I am 29 years old. I'm single and I share how I budget my finances using the cash envelope system. This system has helped me get out of debt, and now I am focusing on saving and investing. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, something you want to learn more about, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. We would love to have you, and make sure that you always hit that bell so that you will be notified whenever I upload my next video. So as I said, and from the setup, we are going to be getting into yet another cash envelope stuffing. We are going to be budgeting with the income that I earned from my full-time job, and this is going to be my first paycheck that I received for the month of February. So if you're interested in seeing how all of that is going to play out, then of course just keep on watching. All right, so diving right into our paycheck, let's first take a look at our bank slip and seeing how much we will be cash stuffing today. So we see that I withdrew $630, and these are the denominations that I gave to the teller to share how I wanted that. As always, any products that you see me use, most of that is found on my website, and the links for all of those can be found down below. So thank you as always for those that do support. But we are gonna go ahead and set aside the things that we are not using right away and get started with working on my wallet. So as always, I like to share how I personally use the cash envelope system. I do not take out all of the cash from my paycheck. I only withdraw the money that I'm using for my variable expenses and the cash that I'm going to put into my envelopes for my sinking funds. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started with my overall paycheck. For these 2 weeks, I was paid $2,608 for my paycheck. And I first like to talk about the bills that I keep within my account. So I pay those whenever they're due, and I don't take the cash out, as I said. The first thing I do set aside is my tithe, and that's 10% of what my paycheck is. So $260 went towards that. After that, I do have my rent, and that is getting zero. I did get into this and explain why it's zero when I did my monthly budget reset. So be sure to check that out if you haven't. But basically, I do not have to pay rent this month, and this is going to be a month where I'm heavily focused on saving and investing, and that will be shown later on when I explain the rest of my paycheck. After that, the next bill that I'm paying will be my internet. That's $56, and that's due to be auto withdrawn on the 13th. And then the last thing that I set aside is $20 for gas. That is for my car, and I get my gas from Sam's Club, and they don't accept cash, so I just keep it on my account and use it whenever I need it. So in terms of all of the electronic bills, that's all I have for that. And now we can get started with cash stuffing and start with what I keep within my wallet for my cash dividers. Okay. And when it comes to my cash dividers, I am participating in the dollar challenge. So any dollars that I have within these categories, I will set them to the side, and we will go ahead and add that to the jar. So first up, we have spending. And spending from this paycheck is going to get $55. And I really haven't been using my spending on purpose for the past couple of weeks because I kind of wanted to build it up, because this weekend I am flying back home, which is New Jersey, and my mom, my best friend, and myself, we are all going to a concert, and I am so excited because I'm going to see one of my all-time favorite artists that I want to see in person, which is Toni Braxton. So I have been trying not to spend out of my spending category just because I know I want to get a t-shirt or something just to, you know, remember that I went to go see her, and probably get some drinks and stuff while we're there. So that's kind of what I am saving this spending for. But we do have dollars here, so I'm just going to go ahead and set that to the side. So adding the $55, that will now bring spending to 100, 20, 40, 50, 55. So we have $155 for spending. Next, we get into groceries. Groceries is getting $150, so I will do two 50s, two 20s, and a 10. And that'll give me 100, 20, 40, 50, 150, which is great. Looking at groceries, we have some singles, so I can set that to the side. And adding to what I have, That will now bring this category to 100, 150, 170, 190, 200, 5. So $205, which is great. I will most likely go grocery shopping once I come back. Next, we move into toiletries. Toiletries is getting $50. So I'm gonna do 2 20s and a 10. And this definitely got depleted. I do have some singles, but other than that, it was only $5 left over because I did go ahead and treat myself to some new skincare products that I was telling you guys about, and it was a little costly. So I wanted to see if these products were worth their buck. So went ahead and did that. So adding 50 will now give this category 20, 40, 50, $55. Next, we move into clothing. Clothing is going to get $20, and I'm just adding money here whenever. I don't really have a particular thing I'm saving for. I just like to build up my clothing, and then once I have the money, when I need it, I can use it. So adding 20 will now give me 20, 40, 60, 80, 85, 90, 95. So $95 within clothing there. And then lastly is eating out, getting $50. I'm gonna do 2 20s and a 10. That will give me 20, 40, 50. Looking at what I have left, I have some singles and I just have a 5. So adding that will now give me 20, 40, 50, 55. So $55 for eating out, and all of that looks good, and that should support me for the next 2 weeks, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in my wallet. And now I have a game plan, and I know what I can and cannot spend money on. So that is all I do with my variable expenses there. We can set the wallet to the side and now take a look at our singles. All right, so for the past 2 weeks, we managed to save $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9. That is great. And this is gonna be our first time adding to the jar for the new year. So it is empty. And now we can go ahead and get started with that. All right. And then with that, I also do the same thing with my coins. We do have a little bit of coins left over from the last time we saw that we counted and it didn't make a full roll. I just put it back in the jar. So we're just gonna continue to add to that today and put whatever coins I have left in my wallet. All right, so there we have it for my coins. And now we can go ahead and bring out my binder and get started with the sinking funds. All right, so getting started first, we have annual payments. That is getting $25 and adding 25. Let's see what that will bring our envelope to. So now we have 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70. So that's $370 within annual payments, which is great. Next, we move into car maintenance. That is getting $20, so adding a $20 bill. Within here, we do have a placeholder, so this is $500 to let me know that $500 is in the bank. And then in physical cash, we have 20, 40, 60, 65, 66, 67. So that's a total of $567 that I have within car maintenance. Next, we move into car insurance. That is getting $75. And I'm saving up for my 6-month payment. I like to pay my car insurance every 6 months because it's a little bit cheaper than paying month to month. So if I can, I like to save. So adding that will now give me 100, 200, 250, 270, 290, 310, 330, 340, 350, 355, 360. So that's $360 within car insurance. After that, we get into Christmas. Christmas is getting $25. So I would just do a 20 and a 5. And that will now bring our envelope here to 20, 40, 60, 65, 70, 75. $75 within Christmas. That is great. And we have until the end of the year to save up for that. Moving along, we get into gifts. Gifts is getting $20. Adding 20, I now have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 15. So that's $115 in gifts. And I like to use this for if it's like a wedding, a baby shower, a family member's birthday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all of that stuff. Next we move into household. That is getting $40. So two 20s for that. And adding 40 will now bring this envelope to 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300. So that is great. $300 within household. I mainly use this for home decor, home organization, but when it comes to my new apartment, I feel like I am pretty settled with what I have and I don't think I need to make any big changes. So I'm on the fence on if I want to continuously add to this envelope or if I want to, pause it and keep it where it's at. But just to give you guys some insight on what I'm thinking about that envelope. Next up, we have medical, and medical is at its cap. So I have $540 within here. And I am also waiting for my paychecks to start taking money out from my HSA as well. So I feel like in terms of medical, I'm covered for my deductible if anything needs to happen. So now we can move into travel, and that is getting $100. So I'm gonna do two 50s. And I am going to be using this very soon because my best friend and I have decided that we are going to lump our 30th birthday together. So my birthday is November 15th. Her birthday is October 15th. We're both turning 30. And we thought rather than, taking off of work to celebrate for one and then the next month taking off for work to celebrate for another, we would just put our birthday celebrations together and kind of meet in the middle. So we all aligned that we're going to go on a cruise, of course, because us girls love to do our cruises. So it's going to be me, my best friend, and my cousin. We're all like three best friends, honestly. So yeah, we all decided that we're just gonna kind of meet in the middle. It's also better because my birthday kind of swings too close to Thanksgiving. So I would rather kind of celebrate earlier, like towards the end of October, and then call it a day. We did see a cruise and we are going to put a down payment on that, and that is what this money will be used for. And then I will be saving up for the remainder of it throughout the year until it's going to be completely due. Looking forward to that, so have something to look forward to at least for this year. But adding $100 today, we see we have another $500 placeholder in our travel. So in cash we have 100. Let me count that correctly. Let me say 600, 700, 1, 2, 3. So that's $703 in total within travel. And in terms of the cash and everything, that is all we have for that. So now I can get into the fun parts where a majority of my paycheck went and talk about my electronic transfers for my savings and investments. All right, so getting into the remainder of my paycheck, the first amount, of course, is going to be my emergency fund. We all know I'm saving up for my 6-month fund and I want to completely get that done. And based on how I budgeted everything out for the month of February, by the end of this month, it should be complete, which is so exciting. But as of today, I will be setting aside $800 from this paycheck and putting that in my emergency fund. And that will bring me to a total of $17,205 saved, and again working towards our $18,000 goal, so inching so close to that. The next thing that I have is my home fund. So since I feel like I'm gonna max out my emergency fund by the end of this month, I still had a little bit of money left over and I wanted to put that towards my home fund to get that started again. I did have to deplete my home fund at the end of last year just to get my life back on track. So I am slowly trying to build back into that fund. So from this paycheck, I am putting $182 to get us started. And I set myself for a goal of at least $5,000 saved for the year. So our first installment of the 182 will be put in place for that. And then the last bit of my paycheck is going towards my Roth IRA. I am behind and I really want to get on track to maxing that out for 2026. So not having to pay my rent is a big help and giving me a good bump to get that started. So the last $660 of my paycheck will be going towards that, and that will now bring the total to $960 contributed towards the $7,500 max that we have for the year. But after all of that, you guys, that is how I decided to budget every single dollar of my paycheck. So let me know down below what you guys think, and let me know by giving a thumbs up to this video so I know you guys are still enjoying this type of content. But as for today, that is all I have. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time within my next video. Bye guys.